Hi everyone and welcome to my live. So I'm Rhonda from Rhonda's Readings, coming to you at 6 o'clock on the 31st of August 2021. So hi everyone. So thank you for watching. I'm streaming to my Facebook page, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly. I'm also streaming to my YouTube channel, Rhonda's Readings, and also to Twitch, Rhonda's Readings. So wherever you're watching me from, hi. So it looks like I've got some comments already. There you go. Hi, Vivian. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Karen. How are you? Thank you for joining me. So in case you don't know, I'm resuming my lives. I resumed them on last Friday. So I'm going to be doing my lives on Tuesday at 6 o'clock and Fridays at 12 o'clock. So one will be evening, one will be during the day. And I'm hoping that that pleases my my followers from overseas. It's kind of, I don't want to do it too late or too early or that sort of thing. So anyway, I'll see how this goes. This works for me for now, but we'll keep you posted. So as you know, I have an exciting psychic fair coming up. My Ocean Wings events basically I've had to cancel them for the rest of the year, but I do have an Ocean Wings virtual reading room from the 23rd to the 26th of September. So what I'll be doing during these lives on Tuesday nights is introduce readers who are going to be at that psychic fair. So if you like the reader, if you like the way that they read and what they say resonates to you, and you'd like to find out more, feel free to contact them. I'll let them explain about what they do and what they can offer you during the reading room. So tonight's guest, I'm very excited to have her here. We've got Kimberley Lett here. So she attended my Ocean Wings Psychic Fair in DY in April. So if you came to that event, if you're in Sydney or visited Sydney for the event, you would have met Kimberley there. So I'm really excited to have her there for part of the event. So she's actually going to be available on Thursday the 23rd, Friday the 24th, and Saturday the 25th of September. So you've actually got 3 days where you can book a reading with Kimberley. So I'll invite Kimberley onto the screen. Hi, Kimberley.
Hello, Rhonda. Thanks for having me. Hi, everybody.
Lovely to see you again. So we tend to have people watching from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, America. So only about a dozen sort of watching at the moment, but that's okay. More people will join us. So thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
And it's good to see you in person, because I've been speaking to you and texting you and that. I can see your beautiful face again. Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah, so if you would like to tell people what exactly you do, how they can contact you on your business, and basically what you can offer people in any sessions, just in general, not for the fair, but just in general.
Well, as Rhonda most eloquently said, lovely introduction. Thank you very much. So I am Kimberley Lett, and I am a channel. I am a counsellor. I am an ascension spiritual teacher. I am a light language alchemist, and I give therapist. So yes, I do a number of things.
Beautiful.
So basically, it all started with me when I became a counsellor. I discovered as a professional counsellor that I could channel. So if it's a little bit similar, if you know of Abraham Hicks or Bashar. So basically, I do offer a range of modalities. So with my channeling, I trance channel, and I channel the beings of the light. So who are the beings of the light? The beings of the light are non-physical teachers, right? They are love-based teachers. So these are your archangels, ascended masters, even star beings, nature spirits, your guides. Okay. So I offer these in the Ascension channeling sessions, and they come through the Ascension teachings. So basically, the Ascension teachings is about how the universe works, right? How understanding these laws can assist you and empower your life, so you become your own psychic. So I do that. And I also do, like I said, a range of modalities. I do higher self readings as well. So with the higher self readings, I actually channel a higher self aspect of you. So we have more than one higher self aspect. This is very interesting. So this is very much around your soul purpose. So many of you may know your soul purpose, but it gives a little bit more detail and information in relations to that. So with everything that I do, it's all to empower you. So the ascension teachings are based on the premise that, you know, we are already enlightened beings. We've only forgotten, right? So it's about a journey of unlearning by looking at our limiting beliefs and then seeing things from a higher perspective, applying ascension teachings, and then we can have our own clarity about what we desire. We can manifest. We can, you know, have awareness of our soul purpose here, and also to activate more of our psychic intuitive abilities. So I do a range of things.
That's absolutely beautiful, and also Reiki, I think, as well. You, and you're a teacher. It's interesting because just tuning into your energy as you're saying that, Kimberley, you do have a lot of teaching energy about you, and I feel like you sort of do that naturally. It's almost like before you discovered this path, you were doing it naturally anyway. And I feel like you almost thought, well, isn't that the way people process and see the world? I feel like you kind of did a lot of it naturally before you started on this path. So, and that's really interesting. I love the word empowering clients, because that's really what any good practitioner should do. They should be helping a person on their journey, basically.
So it's really around giving you the tools so you can go away from a session and use those skills and abilities and techniques. So eventually you won't have to come to see us, because
absolutely.
We love you. As much as we love to assist you, it comes a point where you need to integrate this and step out, right, and be the light for yourself, and so you can empower others. So basically, most of my clients that come to me are already in this business, are the light workers, are the way showers. So they have a calling to assist others, but perhaps that vision is blurred, or perhaps they're in fear and they need assistance to explore that. So a lot of my work details shadow work, because my background is a counsellor. So as well as utilising law of attraction, higher perspectives, we also have to face the inner darkness, the inner shadows, and it's not to be afraid of it. It's just about, you know, changing our perspectives to fear. So when you're triggered by negative emotion, we look at that, we address it, and we turn it
absolutely.
So basically it's by doing all these processes, you actually become your own psychic, you enhance your abilities, and you have all this wisdom for yourself.
And like I said, I just feel like you are naturally psychic and naturally a teacher, so you probably just do it naturally and didn't really realize what you were doing until you started doing this.
Thank you.
So do you think it almost feels like people go to you when they have a blockage, or when they know they're on a path but they're kind of at a junction? It's almost like you help their awareness and help empower them that way. Would you say that's true, or that's just part of it?
Yes, definitely. The people that come to me already consciously know of their path, or perhaps they just have this feeling that they're meant to be doing something else. So they're meant to be empowering people, whether it's in the health or wellness industry or something, to empower people, but they just don't know what it is. But I have this calling, and people find me, and it comes out in the session, especially people who do higher self readings, that you are supposed to be doing this, right? So a lot of people do find me because I have a lot of public group channeling sessions on my YouTube channel. So you can check that out as well. But and it's so interesting, Rhonda, how you said about the teacher, because just like the topic of higher self aspects and past lives, when I came to know that I'm a channel, I've been a teacher for many lives.
Oh, 100%. And I've got goosebumps as you've said that. It just feels like, it actually just feels like people really struggle to find their purpose in life or what they love doing, but I feel like you're doing that. So you're in a real enviable position. I feel like this is you've actually you've worked it out and you've found your path.
Thank you. And what I find, the number one block is fear, because as we go on this spiritual journey, right, and I'm an ascension teacher, what I find is that, we've been conditioned that fear is bad, to ignore the bad, only think of the positive thoughts. Well, what happens if you do that? If we don't heal our traumas, if we don't address our limiting beliefs, which are our irrational fears, it stays in our energy field.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's how we manifest.
That's right. You manifest what you put out there. So you, like putting the fear out there, you manifest that.
Yeah. And it's about self-love, right? I find a lot of people might be okay to give love to others, but they judge their own journey and they judge themselves, right? So it's about raising the level of how we see ourselves and a level of self-love, because we are source, we are one. So another big thing about what I teach is oneness teachings, right? So me and you, we might look separate, but we're not separate. And people that trigger you, they're a mirror to our limiting beliefs, right? So everyone is playing a part in our evolution. So I find so many people are in fear, and that's okay, because we're having a human experience. Things that are happening around the world, it's actually meant to trigger us, because it's forcing us to go inwards, to look at our limiting beliefs, our inner shadows. And that is how we heal, and that is how we actually activate more clarity about who we are. So it's, it's not always easy. It does require us to do the work, right? I know it's easy to think about the love and light, but we are also called to, when we are triggered by negative emotions, to also address it within us. And that is how we remember more about oneness state.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Just looking at some of the comments, people have been asking me. So during the lives, I do normally do psychic and mediumship readings. I will be doing readings later on, but for now I'm interviewing Kimberley. And Kimberley, would you be happy to give an example of what you do, either to read myself or anyone you're drawn to, just as an example? So they're the dates for the virtual reading room where people can actually book in with you. I'll be sharing the link shortly. But would you be happy to give an example of what you do?
Sure, I can. So I find that it depends what viewers want. So I can give an example of a higher self reading. If that's the case, I might have to go with you, Rhonda, only because what happens is that I trance channel. So just the way the live is working, it just might not work. Or I can do an ascension channeling session. And Rhonda, if I do that, then you'll just have to facilitate and read out the questions. So it's up to you.
Yeah.
What you think might be.
Yeah, so if you can let me know in the comments. I've just commented myself. Or maybe if you do a higher self reading, so you'll be offering both, will you, during the psychic reading room? So maybe if you wanted to do the higher self reading,
all right.
You wanted to tune into me. And
just how long will it go for? Because basically I trades channel, by the way.
Yeah, you
so
do.
I'm that was background, so you might have to.
Yeah, that was another thing I did want to alert to the viewers, that if they wanted to book in a session with you, so there's 15 or 30-minute appointments available, but your preference would be for them to book in a longer session, wouldn't it?
It would be. So for the one that I'm going to demonstrate with you, the higher self reading, that is recommended. You can do both. It just depends if you want to actually ask questions, because what can happen is that the beings I channel, whether if you want a higher self reading, which I channel one of your higher self aspects, by the way, we have 7 to 8 higher self aspects, or I can do a ascension channeling session in which I channel one of your guides. One of the beings working with you in the forefront. Sometimes they're chatty. So if you book a 15 minutes, they might come through with a message and then time's up. So you won't have time to ask.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes. So basically the longer the session, the more interactive it can be and ask questions.
Yeah. I can do both, and especially with the higher self reading, I'll demonstrate for you today. It can be also short, but I don't know if there'll be time maybe for you to ask questions. That's the only thing, but I can definitely demonstrate that with you.
Okay. If you wanted to demonstrate that with me and just and just see what happens, and people can see what.
Did you want to so what basically, and for you and for the viewers, I go into a trance state. So what that means is I'm going to actually trance channel one of your higher self aspects. So that higher self aspect, if it has a personality, that will come through me. My eyes will be open, but me as Kimberley will still be in the background. It's just I don't have control of of the information of what I'm talking about, right? So it's very interesting.
Yeah, I'll change.
Yeah, it's a very interesting journey. So just to let you know, I just need a moment or two. I actually go into a trance state, and then I actually set my intentions. So as I set my intentions, I then ask to connect to one of your higher self aspects that wishes to come through, and then I get a little acquainted with them on the other side. Then I bring them through. So while doing that, when you just want to stop it, you might just have to verbalize that, because I could be here for hours, kind of thing.
Okay,
right?
sure. All right.
I'm quite chatty.
Yeah. So we'll try to say do it in about 10 minutes or so.
All right.
But if I don't hear from you, I'll interrupt you then.
Sounds
okay.
good. All right. So like I said, I will see you on the other side. I'm just going to take a moment or two to go into a trance state. And then once I open my eyes again, it'll be one of your highest self aspects.
Sure.
Exciting.
That's okay. While you're doing that, I'll look at the comments. Thanks.
Well, hello, D1. I am Wazilin, pronounced Roswlyn. This is the closest, we would say, human spelling. It is my honor to meet you in this way, D1. You are this higher self aspect that's coming through, Kimberley. It's a beautiful creation of divinity. You are a hybrid of Lyrian and human. You lived in the time of what you know as Lemuria, also known as the Mu civilization. You had great connection with the earth, with the waters, D1, and you were called now once again to reconnect with Gaia. Do you feel the connection with Gaia, with Mother Earth, D1?
Yes,
she grounds you. You have a special bond with Gaia in this time when you are on Earth, because, D1, you have lived many lives, but you have chosen to live this life as me on Earth because you assisted in raising the frequency of Gaia. You imprinted codes into Gaia's waters. You created sacred song that lifted the vibration. You were able to tap into the codes that flowed in Gaia. You were able to connect to the stars, and you were able to bring this wisdom through within you. You were a teacher, D1. We would say for you in this journey, You are already exploring many of your gifts. You are already on that path to share the wisdom and the love that you are. You have so much love to share within you. You have such wisdom within you. At times you might doubt yourself and how you express your abilities, but it's all there within you. If you so wish, allow yourself to consciously connect with the intelligence of Gaia. You have, even with the energies of Gaia, you have a stronger connection with water. Water is the code of life. Water flows within you and all of life. The waters on your earth have been coded by the star beings. The same waters that has flowed upon this earth for millennia. It is codes that is within you and each and every one of you. However, you have this knowledge and this wisdom on how to harness the codes within the water, how to utilize this to empower people. So the first step, we would say, is to consciously connect. Make your intentions to connect. You already connect with spirit. You can communicate with spirits of Gaia, the elemental kingdom, Gaia. We would say you can increase this connection when you physically connect with these elements. So if you so choose, D1, you may wish to submerge yourself in the ocean. You may like to go barefoot in the ocean. You might like to feel with your hands and then physically embrace your heart and make your intention to receive activations. Make your intention to receive any messages. Open your heart to her. She is one with you. She is one with all of you. But we would say that this special connection that you have will enhance your abilities and activate new ones, dear one. It is with such honor that we come through in this direct way, with such love and admiration of you. We are one, dear one. Do you have any questions?
It's very interesting. I almost feel like I had a love-hate relationship with water. Like I've either loved it or feared it. So that's really interesting that's come up. So there's something definitely in that.
Yes, dear one.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that what sometimes can create fear in your human experience, in your current life, relates to soul contracts, creates resistances. And this is where in which you can unlock more of your superpowers.
Yeah.
You do not have to go all the way in. Take one step at a time, one toe at a time. Get used to the elements of water. Get comfortable. There is a part of you that is fearful of your power. Yes, you're already expressing that in your own unique ways, but there is much more to be expressed within you. And this is one more step to express this, dear one.
And it's interesting that Gaia's come up, because when I meditate, I often see the world. And it feels just completely whole, like it's, we're all one. So that's very interesting.
And you are one. You have this knowing within you. It's about trusting the wisdom. And so you enhance that wisdom when you connect with Gaia. If you're not ready to connect with water at this stage, connect to other elements. Practice. You can imprint your water. Make your intentions. Words are energy. Intentions are energy. You can program energy. You did this.
Yeah.
In many ancient cultures, they did this. You're at the forefront of this. So use your intentions. Imprint your drinking water with your intentions. Open up your heart. To connect to the wisdom there. It's the wisdom that's already within you. Do you want to?
Yeah. Interesting.
Do you have any other questions today, Diwan?
I don't think so. No, but it's just, yeah, that resonated a lot with me. So that's interesting. Yeah, thank you.
It's my pleasure, Diwan. Remember, you are not alone.
Mm.
You're one with all that is. So connect and trust. Continue to open your heart and send that love inwards, Diwan, because all the wisdom that you seek is already there, waiting to be explored and expressed by you.
Yeah.
Farewell. Hi.
Hi, thank you, Kimberley. So that was a higher self reading that you did for me. And yeah, that was quite interesting. It sort of wasn't what I expected, but I didn't know what I was expecting. But it did resonate with when I meditate, I visualize Earth and other planets as well and other beings. So that's really interesting. And when you were explaining at the start of what you were doing, I had a vision of other beings almost like on the surface of the earth. So I was wondering what you were going to say about Gaia or what you were going to say about the earth. So it's almost like I had a bit of a vision of what you were going to say. So that was really interesting. And it's really interesting with my connection to water, because I'm a fire sign, but there's times when I just absolutely have to be in the water. And there's other times I fear, but because I had a very close friend who drowned. So there's been a couple of other things that have kind of almost like shook me, and it's hard to explain. But
Firstly,
yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that about your friend.
Thank you. But it was really interesting what you brought through. So that sort of confirmed the importance to me.
And it's also interesting with these sessions, because sometimes, people come away with this session and it's like, that was just a small taste. And, she wasn't overly talkative. Sometimes it can be very talkative. And there's a lot of information. So sometimes you do have to kind of go away and kind of digest it and practice it. And, by the way, she's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I saw her. She has this kind of, I don't know, this thing around her head.
Okay.
She has this really beautiful, like, wide eyes. So she's a Lyrian hybrid. And it's interesting.
So what's Lyrian? Sorry.
Yeah, actually, I do channel star beings, but actually not Lyrians. So I have channeled hybrids before as higher self aspects. It's not that common, actually. So, with higher self aspects, what usually comes through session is that sometimes with higher self aspects who have had lives on earth, who have not had lives on earth, usually the ones that come through have had lives on earth, because obviously they can assist us, right, in our life here. But a higher self aspect who had a life on earth, they're not just in every, like, just I don't want to say like a normal past life, right? But they're elevated states of consciousness. So think of your, you were a hybrid of a star being, or your ascended masters, right? Or priests and priestesses, very elevated states of consciousness. They were, the teachers and the healers and the shamans and so forth. So they're not just like another life. I mean, we've had so many lives, right? We're very multidimensional.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting. And she was beautiful. She just showed me she was, very, very much of the earth, reminded me of, the first, kind of like First Nations people, but a being version.
Is there any concept of age with her, or the beings that you bring through in high self readings? Do you get any concept of age, or I guess there's sort of no time in spirit, but
I think they show me the representation of an age in relations to maybe the height of that purpose. So if you were like, for instance, a teacher, they usually show me when you're at the pinnacle of being a teacher in that life.
Right. Interesting.
That's
That's
what I'm finding. But in saying that, I've done high self aspects, and it's been like this, this really old kind of sage, like pagan, druid, and the beard and everything.
Wow.
But with Hugh, because she was a hybrid, so she kind of looked, if you're not really familiar what the Lyrians are, they kind of have a kind of a lionish appearance. So they have those kind of ears, but she was humanoid, like she was human, but she had not human eyes, very wide eyes. Cat eyes, but her ears,
right.
beautiful hair, she was just wearing these white robes. As an age, I couldn't say she looked youngish, but she could, like I can't tell because she's a hybrid too, but she looked like she was, I guess in her early to middle years, if that makes sense.
Yeah, wow, beautiful.
Yeah. They showed me as well. They showed me, like when I speak, they show me.
Yeah. So you get, so you see, do you hear and smell and sort of taste as well? Do you have the other clairs that come through with it?
Yeah, I not smell, but I do see. So they show me. So even they show me as Kimberley in the background, but they don't always say that in the session. So they're talking through me, and while they're talking through me, they're showing me. It's like I'm seeing a movie, and then it's very interesting. So sometimes it's very vivid.
So it's not like they're talking to you and you speak. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
so you see a movie.
Yeah, I'm the observer, basically. It's like I'm the observer.
Wow.
Out as well. So basically I'm really in the background. Sometimes, depending if they really want to show me something, they bring me a bit more out to show me. Otherwise, sometimes I'm not aware of what I say because it's fresh in the session. I can remember. But if you ask me in a couple of hours, I'll probably forget what happened in the session.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's like I'm still there, but in the background as the observer, but I don't have control of it's obviously it's my words, but for the information, it's not me. It's the beings that I channel.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like, as when you were channeling it, to me, it sort of made me think of physical mediumship. Like I do mental mediumship, as in I connect, and it's a thought. It's just a brief sort of thing. It's compared to things like in The Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg, where she jumps into the body. It was almost, I know channeling is not that, but that's kind of what I basically got an image of Whoopi Goldberg like jumping into your body. that was really interesting, and I don't know whether I have a guy that has a sense of humour, whether that was just his way of saying, channeling is kind of like that. You don't do it, but that's what.
Well, over the years, I've got very expressive through me. So I channel one of your highest self aspects, but you should see some of the beings I channel, very strong personalities. I'm like this. I'm like looking up at the camera. They're very, very physically expressive. So they do come through me, and it's very, very interesting. Very interesting. Because I'm the observer, right? So sometimes even for me in the background, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm like, I stare in the camera,
Yeah, look, it was really interesting because you did really lean forward, and it was almost and you did that sort of like probably like 3 or 4 times, but it was almost, but your facial expression was almost like a really stern teacher, like, I'm about to get in trouble, but it wasn't that intention. It wasn't an intention, I can believe. It was more because this is like when you spoke and you sort of made a point or summarized something, you leaned forward. So as in your way of sort of expressing that's what your message is. So I found that really interesting. So it's interesting that you're aware of doing it, but I don't feel like you were at the time. Because your expression was so different.
Yeah, sometimes my expressions are not. Sometimes with my hands, the leaning and stuff. Sometimes I'm not really aware, and I find that people like yourself, who is kind of more conscious on their journey, it's like they're a bit more, I guess. I wouldn't say sterner, but it's kind of like this. Step into it. Like I don't have to teach you. It's like I think for people who already kind of know a lot of information, it's more just like a kind of like a push, like just a guide. And I don't know, it's just the personalities are different, right? Like I channel so many different beings, and some of them are very fiery, some of them are very, very soft, like, you know, Archangel Shamuel, and I channel the archangels that sometimes they're very soft, and you've got Michael who's very strong and bold. So it's interesting, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But it is do you find when you're reading a spiritual book, because I'm part of my lives, I'm incorporating a spiritual book list, so I'm reviewing cards and audiobooks and books. I find when I read something, my guides give me a tick or not. Like some books I start reading and I think, no, it doesn't resonate and I'm not going to read that. And other books I read and I get a tick, and I don't know a lot of the answers because I've never died. But have you got a similar relationship with your guides where if you're learning something different or trying to sort of get an understanding of something, do you have just a knowing that comes through like that?
I do have a knowing. So it's, you know, what they say is that if something resonates with you, so it might be like you might be perceiving that a spirit giving a tick, or it could be just your inner knowing. It's like it's like that. Basically, it's about you remembering information consciously for yourself. So it's like that information from your higher self is permeating through into from your subconscious to your conscious awareness. So that's why sometimes something really resonates with you. Like, I don't know why, but I just really resonate.
You get goosebumps or something.
Yeah, because you're starting to remember that this is truth for you. And of course, there are many different truths, many different realities, you know, but it's truth for you. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. That's fascinating. I was just wondering if any of the comments had any questions for Kimberley. Would you be happy answering any questions? I've had sort of comments, but no questions of.
Yeah, I'm up to you. I mean, I can do like a ascension challenge session if people want and just wants to ask questions. I don't know, or any other.
Well, let me know in the comments what you want.
I'm fine
if you
with
want.
it.
Yeah. No, everyone's gone shy. Everyone was talking before.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
okay.
It's very much even with these higher self readings, it's very much they guide you. They give you tools, they give you like a direction to go, but they won't give you, for instance, maybe the full answer. Like, for instance, for you, they said to guide to explore the water, explore this, but they're not going to say the exact details because in their perspective, that can sometimes be disempowering because the journey for you to remember it for yourself, that's where the power is. By you being able to find that out for yourself by doing the work, it has a more empowering effect. So, you know, it's very much, And
I've actually sort of, and I believe that 100%. And I've taken that a bit further with my guides. And I've told them that if someone has a bad intention, like it's either to take money or to take power of someone, just stop the information. Don't let me help them. But also, I love that. I love that picture. It was circling around Facebook a couple of months ago, and it was basically of two kids, sort of one pushing one kid on a wheelchair off a cliff, and it's saying, "Take a leap of faith. It's your higher self. It's your self-development." I think how beautiful is that? That something might be frightening that you've got to do, but you've got to learn how to do it yourself, as opposed to someone saying, "This is what you've got to do," and work and just giving you the answers, because then you don't learn, and that cycle has to repeat itself. So, yeah, I agree with that 100%. And that's what I often do in readings. I'll say, I can't give you any more guidance about that.
And just in relation to that as well, another note is that I guess with the readings that I do, the Ascension Challenge sessions, they don't give, like, if you're wanting to know like a specific future validation on something, they won't give you that, because in their perspective, there are many different future potentialities, right? So, for instance, this pathway, there's this future, this future, this future, this future, this future. That future will manifest, but it depends on you and your vibration. So you could manifest that future or manifest that future, right? Yeah, but it all depends on you. So they'll give you clues, but they won't say exactly this, because they want to empower you, and they want you to utilize the tools to so you live your life in an empowered state so you can learn every challenge. So basically, just like, my background as a counsellor, we don't want, as much as we love you, as much as we love assisting you, we don't want you guys to be kind of looking for us for answers. We'll give you the tools and assistance so you can do it for yourself.
Yeah, and that's really a good psychic will want to impart their knowledge to help empower you to do that. I always feel concerned when someone says, can I book a regular reading with you, or can I book a reading once a month? And I'll say, no. Ideally you don't want to have a regular reading with me. You want to be empowered and have the tools at your disposal that you can deal with things.
Yeah, exactly that. And by you doing the work, so like, the shadow work, the inner work, by you, seeing the challenges in your life as a soul lesson, you don't even have to say one word, and you can change a situation just by with your vibration alone. So you can learn, as an example, a common trigger might be a trigger with another person, right? So it could be your partner, a work colleague, or something, and you go into fear, right? That's a common trigger. So with these ancient teachings, they say this person isn't doing anything for you. They are mirroring a limiting belief you have about yourself or about your reality. So you can, in that moment, go within, disconnect, be the observer, and go, what is my limiting belief here? Am I judging someone? Am I judging something? What am I not seeing? You do all that process, and when you get that relief, you'll find that person will change their behavior. The situation will change. You don't even have to say a word. They're mirroring your vibration. So it's about living in the present moment, because, we are all psychic, whether you believe you are or not. Everyone has the abilities. Some are just more fine-tuned than others, right? If we can live more in the present moment, we're aware of the stimulus. When we get triggered by fear, we understand we're going through a soul lesson. So we can be the observer and understand this is for us. So nothing actually happens to us. It's happening for us, for our evolution.
Yeah, beautiful. Well said. Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Did you have anything else to say, Kimberley? It doesn't look like we've got any questions for you.
You asked the question, do I have anything else to say, Rhonda? Rhonda,
you've probably got a lot to say. But in relation to, you've basically talked about what you do in practice, and you've done a higher oh my God, I've gone blank. A higher ascension reading. It was ascension reading and higher self. So you've done a higher self reading for me.
The higher self reading, ancient channeling sessions. Yeah, so that's what I'm offering at the fair. I also do a lot of other things as well. So I do have other modalities that I do that, so I'm not including in the fair. So
And what's your Facebook page?
Yep. So Facebook. Beings of Light. And then you have a Facebook group as well.
Okay,
and
beautiful.
I've got a lot of different things, and you can find it all on my website if you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I look forward to being able to host actual reading rooms and events in person. But until we don't know what's going on with COVID, I've just got the virtual reading room in September. But I'll be sharing that link, and anyone who's watching and Kimberley's resonated with you, you can actually book in to see her on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
Thank you. And I just want to add as well that if you want to know more about my readings, and also the Ascension channeling sessions, if you go on my YouTube channel, I've got hundreds of group channeling sessions you can read. There's even a full higher self reading with Goddess Isis. If you type that into my YouTube, it'll be there as well. So lots of examples you can find out. And, with the whole virtual thing, as you would know, Rhonda, it doesn't matter if it's physical or virtual.
Yeah, absolutely.
It comes through. So there's no barrier there for information.
Yeah, whether it's on camera or radio, phone, or whatever, Zoom, or, you can connect with the energy and do that. Yeah. Wonderful. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Kimberley. I really appreciate
your time. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here and connecting with you all.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to the event.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, so back again. So what I'll be doing on Friday, so as you've probably worked out by now, I do the Tuesdays at 6:00, and I also do Fridays at 12 p.m. So what you can see from the banner is that I've got a virtual reading room, Ocean Wings virtual reading room, on Thursday 23rd of September to Sunday the 26th of September. So Kimberley, who you just met, is going to be one of the readers at that event. So as you saw, her example for me was really quite profound. So if you'd like to book in with her, we do recommend that you book in a 30-minute session, because you can, as opposed to a 15-minute session, because you can actually ask more questions and it's a bit more interactive and have a bit more time with Kimberley. So you can actually do that. So you can book 15 or 30 minutes, but just bear in mind that you'll have more time with the 30-minute one. So that was Kimberley. So I did promise that I'd be reviewing, as part of my spiritual book reviews, Harry T's Oracle cards. I've still got them here. I'll actually be doing that on Friday at 12 o'clock. So that's still coming up. So if you've tuned in tonight to watch that, apologies, but I'll be doing that on Friday. And I'll just be online for about another 10 minutes or so. And I am just going to do some readings if I'm drawn to you. So thank you all for your patience. I've got people watching from Facebook and YouTube. And if you followed my lives last year and earlier this year, you know that I was looking between two screens. Now that I've got StreamYard, I only have to look at one screen. So that should be nice and easy for me. Okay. So what I'm going to do is read Vivian first. Hi, Vivian. So Vivian's watching from Facebook. Vivian asks, can you see anything for me, please? My left hip and leg is playing up. Thanks. I've got a knee to that as well. Just tuning into you, Vivian, I feel a bit almost like wanting to release energy, wanting to say something. My throat hurts and I'm just feeling like I want to sort of get something out. So I'm actually feeling like you're I'm being told there's a bit of arthritis there, but I'm also feeling that you've got to release something. You've got to, and it feels like a female. It's not your daughter, but it does feel like a female connected around your daughter, Vivian. I feel like you need to say something. It's almost like, feels like you're setting boundaries or you're doing something about that. So I feel like when you do that, like I'm actually seeing you doing that to her in person. Once you do that, and I feel like your daughter's going to be a part of that process. But once you do that, I'm feeling like particularly the hip and knee pain, I feel like is going to be a bit better. So thank you for that, Vivian. Oh, and thank you for letting me know where you're watching from. So Vanessa's watching from Hastings. I did see a few other comments before of where people are watching from. Okay, so, and someone also asked if I'm a medium. So yes, I am. I'm a psychic and medium. So psychic readings look at past, present, future, any particular question. There's no guarantee of me doing a reading for this, but if I'm drawn to you, I'll just give you a quick reading for a couple of minutes. And mediumship is connecting with the other side, and that often includes pets as well. So Vanessa has asked, can you tell me anything about my future, please? Okay, so that's very general. Okay, I'm feeling a lot of movement around that. I'm seeing you moving forward, but I'm drawn to 3 to 4 months ago for you, Vanessa. I'm feeling like a female has come back into your life 3 to 4 months ago. And I feel like the key to you moving forward is almost kind of resolving that. So that's interesting. That's this is the second reading where there's like a resolution of something to help you move forward. That's what I'm feeling. So, and there is a move around you. I'm feeling like you say from Hastings, but I'm seeing you near water. So there's an interesting connection around that. And the moving might mean a building of something. And I'm not feeling like that's you directly, but I feel like you're going to be involved in that, and there's kind of value in you speaking and you having an input to that, Vanessa. So thank you for that. All right. Okay. So I've just got sunflower. Anything important coming for me this month? I'm I'm feeling like something unusual sunflower is going on with your sense of smell, because my nose feels really numb. And I'm drawn to you at the age of 12. So there's something about your nose when you were 12 years old. So I don't know what that is. And I'm really drawn, I feel like you're ambidextrous, sunflower, but I'm feeling like you can't use your right hand at the moment. So I don't know what that means, but I'm seeing you using your left arm more than your right arm. So if you can validate that and let me know what that means. But that's what I'm feeling tuning into your question about this month. That's what I'm feeling. I'm also being told that you're going to have clarity about dates. You're a bit anxious or a bit concerned about dates not aligning or something like that. But that's actually that sort of is coming to completion. So I feel like you will get clarity, and then it will just make a lot of sense for it. So that's what I'm feeling. Okay, hi Lara. So you're tuning in from Minjin. So please let me know where you're watching from. I'd really appreciate that. So I don't know where that is, Minjin. Okay, so Lara has asked, wondering if there are any messages coming through for me. Okay, I've got a grandfather that I'm connecting with, and he's really jumpy. Like he's really, I feel like he's really distracted and really jumpy and really a bit sort of agitated. I feel like even as an older man, and I feel like he did live till old age, but he, and my voice is going, it's like he didn't speak because he wanted to act rather than speak. So I don't feel like he was an actor as such, but there's something very animated about him. And he's expressing concern about a brother figure in your life. But I'm feeling a bit of disconnect from that brother, Lara. So it almost feels like it's either a really close friend that you consider a brother, or it's a biological brother that you're a bit separate from. But he's kind of like your grandfather's holding his head, like he's a bit concerned about how he's thinking or what's going on inside his head. So there is a request from him to reach out to that man and make him feel a bit more connected, is what I feel. Alrighty, so I think I've said hi to everyone. Natalie has asked, I'd like to know if any money coming my way. Yeah, wouldn't we all? I'm feeling it's going to be later than you think. I actually feel, I'm seeing that you've got a specific, like I feel like you're looking at a calendar and you're looking at a particular week. So you've got a fairly strict or a fairly set time period of when you're expecting this money, but I'm feeling like it's going to come later. And I do feel like there's an element of a lesson for you in that, in learning trust and learning patience, Natalie. All right, so thank you for that. So let me know where you're watching from. I think you have. All right, so yeah, so Rainbow, that was the higher, what Kimberley demonstrated for me was a higher self reading, because no one volunteered in the comments. But what she also does is ascension channel readings, and that I believe is more a connection to your guides. So and I welcome everyone to have develop that connection to the guides. So if they're, if you meditate or have tried different things to connect and you're still sort of not sure, do like try different ways, like try an ascension channeling reading to make that connection, because once you've made that connection, the dialogue is a lot easier. So that was quite interesting. So Nicole commented that she loves the movie Ghosts that we're talking about. So that was an example of physical mediumship. So we do mental mediumship. So that's what I do. I use all my clairs. I hear, see, smell, feel, taste. So a psychic reading is different from a mediumship reading, but it's still using all of those senses, basically. Who has an earache around Rainbow, Vanessa, and Gwenny? I've suddenly just got and it feels like that's an energetic thing, kind of like it's almost like someone's shouting at you, but you're not listening, kind of thing. So I don't know what that is. All right, hi Gwenny Gwen. I want also, if anyone is watching and would like to be a reader at my psychic fair, you're going to have to do a test reading on me, but it's not too scary. That's okay. But I'm willing to look at anyone who's interested and has psychic ability that they're practicing and using. So if you'd like to be a reader, just contact me. So you've got obviously my Facebook page, Rhonda's Readings by Rhonda Kelly. You could send me a private message. My profile on Facebook is Rhonda Kelly. Also, YouTube is Rhonda's Readings, and my website is rhondasreadings.com. All right, so Gwenny has asked, how can we communicate and find out who our guides are? Which I just said, Gwenny, I must be psychic. Do different guides come along at different stages? My belief is yes. For me personally, when I have a lot of stress or change, I have a lot more guides around me, and I've had people say that during psychic readings as well. They've said, actually it was Harry T. One actually said to me during a reading about 10 years ago, you've got a flock of guides around you. It's just, he said, they'd fill a room. It's really bizarre. But I had a lot going on, so that made sense to me. So with finding out who your guides are, you can try meditating. And I started Rhonda's Readings, my YouTube channel. I did start a meditation playlist. I didn't continue it because it didn't seem as popular as my other playlists, but I do have a meditation in one of them, and it's basically sort of walking into a field and people actually meet you. It could be loved ones, could be a guide. So, if you do something like that and people come and meet you and you don't recognize them as your loved ones, then that's chances are they're your guides. And I find with me, my guides are, two of them in particular, really quite funny. So they share my sense of humor. One humor is a bit dark, and one humor is a bit kind of like childish, or kind of like, would laugh at a meme or something like that. So I feel like the guides have sort of shaped my sense of humor. So I find two of them are really similar to me in personality, but the others are quite different. And I don't know who all my guides are, because occasionally a new one pops up and I think, well, who are you? And one of my guides also shows me himself at different ages. Sometimes he comes through as a child and sometimes as an old man. So and I don't know what that is. But if anyone's read any books or anything you'd like me to do a book review on, or if anyone has any other takes on that, please let me know. Oh, thank you, Lara. Appreciate that. So Vivian, you're from Sydney. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. So you are wanting to move. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just do a couple more readings. So I'll just sort of be going for the hour or so. Okay, so we've got Kayla, who is All Things Beautiful on Facebook. I'm well, thanks, Kayla. My partner and I just got approved for a house. Do you see us moving into the house? And will we be happy there? Yeah, I'm actually feeling like you're going to move into a house next year. I'm drawn to February next year. I'm feeling like February is going to be a busy month for you. And I do feel like you'll be happy. But I feel like you'll be happier before you move in. There is a bit of an element of putting too much pressure on yourself, Kayla. But I do see it working out. I really do. All right, so please let me know where you're watching from. And thank you to the people who've liked and shared the video. I try to read the sharers' comments first. All right. Okay, let me tune in. Okay, so TD, because TD's been following me for years, I think. So TD has said, Kay in a new relationship, is he serious about his relationship, or is he still going to be a player? I feel like he's still going to be a player. I'm just seeing that it's all fun and games, and I'm seeing him. I'm getting an image of Kay and the guy just playing chess, and he's just moving the chess pieces in any way he wants because he thinks it's funny, kind of thing. So I'm not feeling a lot of genuineness there, but there it is interesting. There is a vulnerability about him, so I feel like he comes across as being more vulnerable, but he kind of, whether he gets just acknowledgement from that, but then he goes on to play his games is what I'm feeling. So that's interesting. TD, I don't know what's going on with your left shin, but my left shin is suddenly killing me, tuning into your energy. So whether that's an energetic thing of, what that is. Okay, so you've got to. So Kayla has said in response, had to move out in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's interesting because I feel like you'll go somewhere, and I'm still drawn to February. I feel like you'll be in your more permanent situation in February, is what I'm picking up. So what's that? 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, about 6 months basically. Yeah, thank you, TD. Appreciate that. Okay, so for those of you who haven't realised, during COVID, I have actually reduced my private readings. So if you look on my website, rhondasreadings.com, you'll see that. Yeah, you'll see that my reading prices are reduced due to COVID. And as you also know, I've got the Ocean Wings virtual reading room because I've had to cancel my in-person events. So I'm doing that as well, just by way of keeping people connected, basically. And thank you, Gwen. Okay, and I've just had a question in response to my reading. Can I change that? Yes, you can. And Kimberley touched on that. It's really manifesting, putting out that positive intention rather than, oh, I don't want that to happen, because that's focusing on the negative, but focusing on the positive, saying, I look forward to being in that house. Like, visualize yourself in that house is what I'm feeling. Okay, so on Friday at 12 o'clock, I'll be reviewing Harry's cards. I promised that last Friday, but I brought Kimberley in, and I will be introducing other readers that are going to be at my psychic reading room, my virtual reading room. So you'll be able to book with those. I'll share those links for those readers. So thank you so much for watching on Facebook and YouTube. I'm also on Twitch, but that's a bit of a gaming platform. So I'm obviously not playing games. I'm doing psychic readings. But thank you to all the sort of long-term supporters that have come back for me doing my live readings. I have actually taken a bit of a break. I've just had family issues and a few things going on in the background. So I just have taken a break, but that's completely fine. So I'll see you next Friday at 12 o'clock. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye. No, that didn't end. All right, thank you. Bye.